So,
Yeah.
did you record a track this week?
I thought you were going to do that.
Oh, well, see, I thought because you were already playing music with the Backstage Live guys, you'd just have so much time to, since you're set up,
Yeah, well, see, the thing I thought, though, was that we had discussed that you would, actually get some kind of work done this week. I don't know.
Oh, did you email me that? Because I
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
text just go, oh, well. Well, I guess we don't have one. So
We don't have one. And instead of pointing fingers at anyone, we'll just we'll get to it next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, everyone? This is oh my God, I just went through 3 names of different things in my head, and none of them were right. This is the Dipped in Tone podcast. I'm Rhett.
I'm Zach, and this is episode 13. Lucky.
Yeah, and we still don't have an intro. That's fine.
We're working on
it. We got actually 3 really good topics lined up for today, so I'm really excited about this one.
Sure.
And as always, quick shout out to our Discord chat, our Patreon supporters, everyone hanging out here with us live while we are recording. If you want to join in the fun, people are posting gifts and having all kinds of jolliment in the chat here. You can join our Patreon for $2 a month. Link down below.
It's super distracting for me because I'll just see that and I don't pay attention to what we're talking about.
Oh, man. Don't encourage them because now they're going to be trying to distract us the entire time. See here,
yeah.
you just look at it.
Okay.
It's already started.
Yeah, I know. All right.
There you go.
Well, so you had Backstage Live this week.
Yes, I did. This past Saturday.
I assume that was your whole week. Just it consumed you.
Man, you know what? I actually had a very... This week was a bit of a roller coaster of emotions. Started off strong, got a video out, and then kind of went into a tailspin, which, you and I were texting about. I do this thing where when I have a lot to do and feel overwhelmed, which I always do on the week of a show, I can't get anything done and my wheels start spinning and I'm just like, start working on one thing and then get distracted and work on another thing, and then 2 days goes by and I have nothing productive done. But I was able to rally and get another video done and get ready for the show, and I think the show went off pretty well last night.
I did not watch it, but I'm going to, because
how could you?
Man, it's like it happens when for any of those that listen or watch who are parents with small children. You eat way earlier than normal people. So it usually is starting right as we're like figuring out dinner. And so there's no way to like sit and enjoy something. And like sometimes I'll have it on like just on the TV and we'll kind of like listen while we're eating, but I can't pay attention.
So that's been
so
like the biggest struggle we've had with this show is finding the time, because we're incredibly fortunate to have literally a worldwide audience for this thing, which is insane. And so we tried to come up with a time that people in Europe could watch and people in the East Coast and South America could watch, and people on the West Coast, like it would work for everyone, and people in like Australia, Southeast Asia could also watch. It's morning time for them. So we settled on 5 p.m. Eastern time, which has worked out pretty well because it's late for Europe. It's kind of midday on a Saturday for the West Coast. It's like 7, 8 in the morning for Australia. But yeah, you just listen. It's not the ideal way to play a show, but we're making it work.
Right. Yeah. But I typically watch them and enjoy them. So
we had a good time playing.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll definitely watch it while I'm getting through the enormous pile of pedals I have to build.
Yes, you have quite the order stacked up. I imagine that was most of your week, right?
Oh, it's most of everything. So I have, as of Sunday, the 22nd, I have 365 pedals on order. So I have a pedal a day for a year. But it's fine. It's the hardest thing for me is, since it's still just me, I trying to decide where to put my focus, because I'll have like X amount of this to build and X amount of that to build, but I could build smaller batches and fulfill orders sooner. So I don't know whether I should just build all of one model and just like have them all like decked out and ready to go, and then like make everyone wait a little longer and fulfill all the orders at once, or like build as I go. Like that's the difficult part for me, and that's something that I've just been like so stressed out about. But luckily, I've been talking about this like since we started. My enclosure guy, Jacob, who is a saint, is making a new facility to build turnkey for a few people, very selective, and I'm lucky enough to be one of the first people. So hopefully by the end of this year, he'll be taking care of at least a portion of stuff.
What a great problem to have, though, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I shouldn't complain, but
I mean, you have so many orders that you can't fulfill them on your own. Like that doesn't suck.
no, but it's just like you like all for me, all I can think about is this seemingly insurmountable task that I have to do, and that's like it's all I can think about.
Yeah.
So
We need help.
yeah, definitely
We do.
in so many ways.
You and I are both in basically the same position, just in two different avenues. Like what you were just describing about trying to figure out what to work on and how to execute it. I'm in the exact same position. I like making YouTube videos, running 2 podcasts. Tilly and I are in the process of like overhauling the Backstage Journal podcast, and we'll be relaunching it probably next year. I'm trying to work on 2 video courses, get those out, and the live show and the band and everything. It's I need help. Yeah.
Well, it's like for me, because I think so often, like when I tell people how much I have to do, like build wise, that doesn't even count like bookkeeping, designing. I have a bunch of prototypes coming this next week, like a bunch of stuff that I still have to do. I have to find time to like do that all while staying at my soldering station and getting that stuff done. But I shouldn't complain, and I'm not trying to. So,
Hey, me neither. We're very lucky boys.
yes.
So, our first topic this week is a big holiday week here in the States. And it's grown to be a big holiday week throughout at least the Western world that I'm aware of. Black Friday. Black Friday is not the holiday in the States, obviously, it's Thanksgiving. But Black Friday I feel like over the last 10 years, I've watched Black Friday start as this fun thing where, you go Thanksgiving night and you camp out in a parking lot of a Bass Pro Shops so you can wake up early in the morning to get deals on denim and ammunition, which I have done.
It's America.
3 times, in fact. I actually didn't buy any stuff, but we used to, me and my friends, my high school friends, we would, like every Thanksgiving, we'd make a, shout out to Andrew and Bill, we would go and camp out in the parking lot of a Bass Pro Shops so that Bill could buy his jeans for the whole year and buy his ammunition for like $20 off or whatever. And it was just a fun thing. Like we'd just go and hang out and stay up all night in a parking lot, and so I feel like we've watched it go from that to now. Black Friday is like a whole season, and specifically in the music world, in the music retail industry, it's following the rest of retail, where it's just kind of creeping out beyond just Friday or the day after Thanksgiving, and it's now weeks ahead of time and weeks after. I mean, I feel like people are just looking for any excuse to slap Black Friday deals on anything now.
Yeah, and it's become less like when Black Friday really started to become a thing, like you were saying, it was like pressing. You had to either be there like Thursday night or on Friday, or else like the deal was gone. And now you have like this window. You're like, oh, well, they're going to be a sale. They'll probably start it on Monday or maybe Sunday. And like, if I don't get it until like after like the next weekend, it'll probably still be on sale. So it's like, there's no pressure. Cause what I used to do, and this is just dumb, but this is me. When Black Friday was like a thing still at a store, I would go to Walmart and other places and just buy movies for like, because you could get like all sorts of movies for like $1, $2, like Blu-rays, all sorts of stuff. And so
What a great investment you made.
well, I mean, when you think about like buying a movie on Amazon is kind of expensive, like to have it digitally. So when you can go and just buy a disc, So I would just
Right.
do that, and that was like my Black Friday tradition. I would get up really early and like go and just clamor through the bins of movies.
We used to do a similar thing on the road where at a lot of American truck stops, they'll have like a DVD bin, and it's like $3, and it's the worst, not even B-rate straight to DVD movies. It's like movies that you didn't even know existed or were made.
Yeah.
I mean, horrible titles. And we would just buy the worst looking one to see if we could make it through in the van. Yeah, so, and that's the other thing too, people are talking about in the chat, Cyber Monday. You're absolutely right. If you miss out on Black Friday stuff, all right, well, Cyber Monday's 3 days later, 2 days later, whatever. You can just just get your deals there. I feel like we should make a concerted effort. We should start this. We should start this this movement here on the podcast. Make Black Friday again. We can make hats, we can make shirts, do the whole thing, and try and rein in this Black Friday sort of phenomenon back to Black Friday, because you're right, it used to be pretty advantageous to try and get good deals. I mean, my thing, the thing that I always look for on Black Friday deals are plugins. I mean, you could get some screaming deals on plugins on Black Friday. So for the past couple of years, what I would do is usually starting in September, I'd start putting some money aside, save up a few $100, and just start picking out, all right, what plugins do I want? Oh, I want a new EQ. I need this bus compressor looks cool or whatever, and wait for Black Friday deals, especially companies like Waves. I mean, they'll do insane stuff, Softtube, Isotope, and just take that $300-$400, whatever you save up, and buy all your plugin suite for the whole year.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like now that stuff's starting to happen in September, October timeframe, so there's no real point.
Yeah, and it takes away the specialness of it. And the thing, because my initial thought was like, is it even necessary? Because you go on a Reverb, and there's a sale every week. If it's not like across the entire platform, it's a store or somebody. And it's like, I feel like we're really anesthetized to sales. And the thing that always gets me is the stuff I want typically, which is, the things I would want to get a deal on, which would be a guitar or a pedal or, an amp or something, are usually excluded. And I hate to be that guy, but with Mythos, I never do Black Friday sales. I don't think it every time I used to try,
Right.
and it didn't do anything, because even if you offer a discount, free ship, and do all that stuff, people are just like, sometimes they'll hop on it. And I do know people that they need that. That is part of their business to make their year right. But just for me, it never did anything. So I just kind of stopped. And it's such a hassle to police with dealers and say, hey, you have this amount of percentage that you can discount, and you have to make sure you do it. And then you have to check them because, if you're offering 15% off and they're doing stuff at 20, you're like, hey, you can't do that. And it's like, it's such a headache. So I've always just said, not going to do it.
Yeah. With the stuff I sell, it's a little easier because everything's handled online. Right. Even like my merch and stuff, I don't handle any of that stuff. It gets printed at the facility and shipped out. So for us to do a sale, it's like, I text my guy Aaron, who runs the platform, like, hey, I want to do 30% off today and just make the code, I don't know, RS30. And he's like, all right, done. And then I put a blast out. So I probably will do some kind of Black Friday thing. But yeah, the thing that I've found was you're competing against everyone doing Black Friday stuff, and everyone's sending email blasts out. Sweetwater is going crazy with the Black Reverb's going crazy with the stuff. Like, it's almost for a small operation like me, it's like, just ignore it. And, I'll do a sale later.
I kind of want to do an impromptu, see if there's any deals on Sweetwater right now.
Sweetwater right now.
I'm gonna
look it up. Sweetwater right
So
now.
they have
I'm gonna do the same.
Black Friday sale until the 28th. So when is that? That's
Dude,
until Saturday.
Okay, look at this. We're a week out. Yeah, Sweetwater deals keep coming. Sweet deals keep coming. Looks like a Chibson post. Black Friday sale up to 70% off, plus new gear releases now through November 28th. It's currently the 22nd. I think by definition, this should not be able to be called a Black Friday sale.
Well, yeah.
Let's see what's for sale.
I'm just looking at the hottest deals, and
Me too. Yep.
I don't know. You can get a Roland electronic drum kit for $560 off. All this stuff is so boring.
$2,000 off select Relish Mary guitars. I'm going to post this in the chat here.
Yeah. Have you played one of those guitars?
I have.
Yeah, I don't like them.
They're not my thing. I know some people that love them.
They have the coolest switches because they're like haptic or something.
The capacitive touch thing.
Haptic. That's not right.
Whatever the touch.
Yeah, you're right. Capacitive touch. Yeah.
I think it's a cool idea. The idea being that you can really get it's instead of a switch, it's basically like almost like a fader, right? So you can kind of blend to any increment between the two pickups. Cool idea. I would just rather have a fader, a pot that does that instead of like this weird touch thing, because in the moment, like playing, I think it's really impractical. If you're playing and then you got to like get your finger in the right position and kind of like swipe, it's almost like you're opening your iPhone kind of thing. I don't know.
The JHS 3 series are all 15% off. So they're
They're already cheap.
They're $84.15 at Sweetwater.
Oh my God.
That's so cheap.
You can't afford not to buy it.
Yeah. I might have to.
Oh, good. You can get a cajon for $99.
Oh, that's what every house needs, especially during the holidays.
All
you
right.
need a cajon.
Here's the thing. I think cajons are the worst instruments ever made. I hate cajons with the burning passion of a billion suns. I hate having to take a great drummer and relegate them to a cajon. I hate having to play on a gig with cajons. They never sound good. They're not cool.
They're so not cool.
Ooh, Slate Digital VMS ML1 for $500. That's pretty good. Damn, I actually might. Okay, hold on.
wait.
See what else is on.
We can't shop on air here.
Oh my God. Okay, so, yeah, I think I have a problem with the expansion of Black Friday, and if we keep going, there's also the idea of like stores being open on Thanksgiving here in the States. Like that's a big thing that's happening now. And I feel like, man, no, you should let your employees be with their families that day, or at least let them have the day off to do whatever they want. Right. It's a national holiday. Making people work, especially a retail job, and especially on a day where people are being crazy as people always are around Black Friday. Like that's just not cool, man.
No. And man, and this year is different. This is going to be the weirdest year anyway, just because of, the virus. But it's like, man, I feel like everyone just needs to chill out. And the Slash double neck only $13,000.
Oh,
$300.
wow.
$13,000.
Oh man. What about the things where some companies, and I don't have an example of this right now, but there's a couple memes going around about this where people will, street price normally is $7.99, $7.99, and then Black Friday price is $7.99, but there's all this branding and marketing around it to make you think that it's some big deal.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the thing that always trips me up on it usually happens on Reverb, more so on eBay, because I feel like eBay is a little less police. You see stuff for like crazy deals, and you're like, "Oh, what?" And then the shipping's like $300, and they just offset the product price with the shipping to get it when you sort low to high. It's like the first thing,
right?
And you get real excited, and then you get really, really angry. So
Okay, now I need to get off because I am actually shopping. And I
Yeah,
need
see?
to not do that right now. Okay.
Mm.
I got, Zach.
We don't get got. We go
We
get.
don't get got. We go get. So, anyways, let us know in the comments your Black Friday deals. What are you looking for? How do you feel about it? You know, I'm all for Black Friday, but let's rein it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to be shopping for anything? Like, I mean, anything.
I would like a ribbon mic. And I would like a new set of wheels for my road bike.
Okay.
Set of carbon aero wheels, deep dish. Looking at the Zip Firecrest 303s, probably in like the 35 millimeter range. Yeah. What about you?
A new stove.
Fun.
It's like the most like, domestic.
Yo, are you guys gonna go induction? You should go induction.
I don't know. I think the most important thing for us is having like dual ovens. So
Yeah. But induction though, for real, it's the future. It's magic.
yeah, I don't know.
It cooks with magnets, dude. Come on, how cool is that?
Magnets.
Do you know about induction stoves?
Yeah. I just I don't know how
Okay.
much they are, and I worry that they're real expensive.
I don't know anything about that, but I just know they're real cool. And I want if we buy a house and we have to renovate a kitchen, I'm going all induction. Anyways,
You'd go induction over gas?
yeah.
Here's
Here's why. Okay, it doesn't heat up your kitchen. Something like I think 60% of the heat that's generated from your gas stove ends up not going into heating the pan and heating the food, but in just heating the air around your kitchen. The other thing is it heats up incredibly fast. Down here, we have just a single induction top burner thing that we got on Amazon just to like
a hot
make
plate.
basics. Yeah, basically. And you can boil water in that thing like instantly. And for having kids and stuff, it's a lot safer because the actual surface doesn't heat up. It's just the pan that gets hot. It's the future, man. I'm telling you.
I'll look into it, and then we'll have to get all new like cookware, won't we?
Yeah. Well,
Ugh.
no, unless if you use anything that is ferritic. So cast iron obviously works super well, and a lot of cookware has, as long as it's not like stainless steel or something like that, it should work. If it's magnetic, it'll work.
Okay.
And now that we've lost half our audience,
Yeah. All right. Bye. We're talking about ferrous materials here.
Hey, man, pickups are ferritic, so that's a thing.
There we go.
There
It's all
we go.
dipped in town.
And reining it back in, Zach.
Yes.
If you and I were to start a guitar company, what would we do?
I think we should have competing guitar companies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't think.
Oh,
I think.
Okay.
I want to see. We'll leave it to the comments. Whose idea they like more? Whose
Okay.
guitar would they buy? We don't have to have a brand name yet.
Mhm.
But our approach to starting our own guitar company.
Robert Dudley in chat said Shoyles.
That's the
That's
best
great.
one yet.
Shoyles guitars.
You know, I like that more than relish. 'Cause
Yeah.
I just think of a hot dog. I don't get it.
Isn't Relish guitars? Aren't they from Sweden? I think.
I think so. Yeah.
So I'm wondering that it probably means something different over there than it does here.
Probably. But you wouldn't
Yeah.
call a company potato something if it like in another country.
Well, it might be
potato meant,
somebody's
like, really
name.
cool. Well,
It might
maybe.
be somebody's name. So,
But again, like I don't. That's all I think of when when things have funny names. I just like.
Oh my
Once
God.
you make that connection, you can't escape it.
Mendoza in the chat, collab with Josh Scott, Muscle Shoyles guitars.
Okay.
All right, go ahead with your guitar design here.
Well, oddly enough, I've thought about this.
I haven't, so I'm gonna just fire off the top of the head here.
Bang bang. I had designed a guitar. I don't think I've ever showed you this. I drew it up. They're not in like CAD or anything. It's pretty rough and tumble, but it's a it's a technical drawing of a guitar. And basically, what I wanted to do was make a line of offset kind of melody makers
Okay.
that were the thickness of a Les Paul Jr. Because for those that don't know, a Gibson melody maker is actually thin. It's way thinner than a normal, like Les Paul Jr., a special body thickness, which is cool. I mean, they're really lightweight and easy to play for a long time, but they don't really hit the same because there's just not as much mass. So I want to do something that's kind of like that, the double cut, but kind of tilted with a slight offset waist, so it kind of sits real close to you. Gibson scale length, Gibson nut width, and the idea was have a really locked in body shape with, and this is not an original idea, other people have done this, but a universal route where you could put in a different pick guard with different pickup configurations. So I'd want to have it made overseas, but use probably, of course, set up in the States and use American parts. I'd have the guitar made all over there.
Oh, okay.
And then have the pick guard. I'll probably have the pick guard made, but then do the pickups, the pots, all the wiring in the States. Bloop, pop it in, ready to go. And so that's my idea. And that would probably get the price point to the $1,000 range.
So essentially you're just directly competing with Revolta.
Well, I mean, it'd be competing with a lot of people, but yeah, I mean, I actually have my Revolta here, which here's one I prepared earlier. For those that haven't played a Revolta, it is shocking how good these guitars are. The setup,
really good.
The feel, the fretwork. Granted, they are set up in the States, but just from a construction standpoint, I think they're probably one of the best import guitars being made.
Yeah, I agree. I played my my baritone on the show last night, and the Revolta baritone smokes the Dan Electro baritone.
Super cool.
In every respect, it's just a better instrument. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's respectable. And what would you do you have a name off the top of your head?
No, I had some names, but they're dumb, and I'm not gonna share it. But basically, if I can find the picture, I think it's on my old computer, I might share it. Maybe I won't, because I think it's a good idea, and the shape is something that I've never seen exactly before. And when I say double cut, I mean like a double cut Les Paul or a melody maker. It's a short horn. It's not like, not like a Strat.
Man, this is tough. And I'm also realizing how I've just never really thought about this. All right. So, my guitar, my company would be made in America. Handmade. Probably, I'd probably do like CNC stuff, but hand finishing, painting, lacquer, the whole deal. I'd probably go with Gibson scale length, but a 6 inline headstock with no offset, to prevent the inevitable Gibson style tuning issues.
Yeah.
It'd be a semi-hollow design. What I'm trying to do here is just not describe a 335, basically. I'm trying to design something that's close to a 335 that's not a 335. So it'd be a 6 inline headstock, Gibson scale, semi-hollow, not offset. I love offset guitars, but I fear that offset guitars are very, very hard to do right. You can easily make an offset design that just looks totally wrong. And frankly, I think there's a lot of companies out there that do offsets that just look bad, in my opinion. I think Dennis has it figured out. Dennis has the offset thing closest to Fender, where the proportions are right, it looks right, it feels right, the right size, the right amount of offset. So I would not go with an offset shape. I'd go double cut, semi-hollow, Gibson scale, and I'd have 3 different pickup combinations. I would have straight up PAF, PAF. I would have a triple Firebird configuration, not mini hum, triple Firebird, and I would have a P90 configuration. I would offer a hardtail, ABR1 style bridge, and I would offer not a Bigsby, but a tremolo similar to the Duesenberg less trim. I actually really like the less trim. I know you hate it. I actually really like it. I think it's great. So I'm kind of describing like a Trini Lopez, essentially.
Yeah.
I would basically build a Trini Lopez. But, yeah, I think, it would be semi-hollow. I think where I would go different, I'd probably want a mahogany center block.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd go carved instead of laminated. So think like a Collings I-35.
Right.
Where it's carved from a single block, where you take a chunk of mahogany and you hog it out. So you have the mahogany center block with the pickup routes. I would not do a universal pickup route. I would do the pickup routes specifically for each pickup configuration.
Right.
And then I would have a maple cap, a solid maple cap slapped on top.
Man. That's
I would not
big money.
I would not use hide. Yeah, it was not going to be a cheap guitar. I would not use hide glue for, I guess, environmental concerns. I'd use like a synthetic, a synthetic glue that has properties of hide that crystallizes.
Right.
And I would use tempered wood, so tempered mahogany, tempered maple for the top. And I'm trying to decide if it would be a set neck or neck through.
I don't.
Because if you think about it, like if you are going with the Trini Lopez thing, you're kind of calling back to a Firebird, which is the thing I love about the Firebird is when you play a good one, you can feel, because the neck and the body where the pickups and the bridge and everything are the same piece of wood. I mean, you can feel it in the neck. The guitar just resonates. So,
right.
I just don't think that you could feasibly, now that I'm thinking about it, it'd have to be set neck, because if you're going to hog out from a single piece of wood, you'd have to take a giant, you just like whittle it down to a neck. Okay, so it'd be
this whole forest. Just cut it down.
Just cut it all down. But
we're gonna make 3 guitars out of it.
Yeah. Okay. So set neck, mahogany.
Yeah.
Ebony fretboard. Bound neck, bound body, double bound body. Bone nut. I'd go stainless frets, stainless steel frets.
Ugh.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't like man.
So that's the thing. And it would probably end up costing you $10,000 because that's an expensive guitar to build. But there it is.
Man, well, there you go. Well, how would you make it look different? Because ultimately, you don't want to say like, "Hey, see this guitar? I want that, but with my name on the headstock."
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
What would you do to the body to make it not be where you wouldn't get a C and D?
Oh, I'd definitely get a C and D from Gibson. Well, the boys over there would not be happy about that. I think if you changed the proportions enough, because how did Collings get around it?
It's smaller.
Oh, I like the size of the 335 though. What if I made it bigger?
Well, make it bigger.
Yeah, make it Super 400 size.
like a Super 400. Yeah. Oh my God.
No.
That's in my lap.
Because the thing is, I don't like a 339. I think a 339 is way too small.
Right. Well, the Collings, the I-35, kind of sits in between. It's kind of like a 336 or 3. There's another model.
Okay. Here's what I would do. Here's one of my favorite shapes ever. Is the double cut Gretsch. Okay, so this is obviously a single cut, but the double cut Falcons That's what I would do. So it would be like a thin line double cut Gretsch. Same size, just much thinner than that.
Right.
With the 6-in-line headstock. So
That would be
basically,
different.
it would be like if a double cut Falcon and a Trini Lopez had a baby with Firebird pickups, basically.
And knowing you, that they would be in like pretty cool finishes.
Oh yeah, no natural
So what
finishes.
I can't imagine it be nothing like off the shelf sort of like classic guitar.
No. So I would go, obviously there'd be a whole line of sparkles. And then metallic colors, probably a really great gold top. A Heather Mist. Be really cool. And I'd do a Sunburst, the closest thing to a natural finish, but I hate natural finish guitars.
Do a metallic Sunburst.
Oh, okay. No, let's.
I kind of like those. Well, one thing too on mine, what I don't think I said, I'd want it to be a rat tail. So, like, I mean, really, I want a Les Paul Jr. that has a double cut vibe. That's like you just went and just this way,
yeah, right.
Tweaked it, just you skewed it in Photoshop, and smaller horns, smaller cutaways, and because I think the idea of having a guitar that's like all done overseas that gives you this bright, a really good resonant piece of wood coming from overseas, and then you slap in like real deal parts, you're gonna be like so further ahead.
Oh, you're gonna sell a lot more
time.
guitars than I am, that's for sure. Like, yeah, for sure. I just love having played a few of the Collings guitars, dude, especially that I-35, because the difference is between it and the 335 is it's hogged out. It's a carved body instead of a laminated body, and it's
a solid top.
Oh, dude.
I prefer the LC. I prefer the laminated construction one. I think that, I mean, because it just feels more like a 335, and like the best that a 335 could possibly be.
Yeah,
that's what an I-35 LC feels like to me. I told Joey, I'll post a picture of it now. If you've not seen Joey's red I-35 LC, it is super flamey and just such a monster guitar. And I told him, I was like, if you ever sell that, like, I'm your guy. I'm just gonna buy it because I want that guitar.
Do you like super flamey guitars?
Yeah, I mean, like, not in a. I don't like super tight book matched, like the really over the top Paul Reed Smiths. Sometimes some will get me, but I like them when they're pretty flamey. But Joey's is very. It looks like one from back in the day that was just, for whatever reason, that one had the best wood of that week, and like they book matched it.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't like flamey guitars at all.
Well, I mean, I like this, and this is like.
Yeah. See,
that's not super flamey though.
To me, that's too much flame.
What?
Yeah, it's a beautiful guitar. Don't get me wrong. I'm not partial to that personally. So all my guitars would probably be solid finishes. I don't even know if I would do a Sunburst. Yeah.
Well, for mine, I wouldn't do. There'd be no veneers. It'd be nothing. It'd just be like a slab of mahogany.
Yeah.
Solid. Like I really like the transparent finishes. Like the white you can see through, kind of like on a junior.
Like a Mary Kay kind of thing.
Yeah, the one that Gibson does, they have like it's like a wash. It's like a white wash,
right?
So you can really see the pores and stuff. And I love like the that what's it? The Epiphone did it. It's like a silver fox or something, and it turned kind of green looking.
Oh yeah,
I love that. Like it would be all of that kind of stuff.
Right. Right.
So yeah, we're definitely on very opposite ends of the spectrum, because your guitars would be easily for a semi-hollow with solid wood. $4,000 to $5,000 a pop, easy.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
it's
hey,
fine.
Hey, listen, don't at me. This was the challenge. What would your guitar company be? And that's it. I mean, I guess you could do an overseas import version, that was laminated construction made overseas. Same kind of thing that you're talking about, where it's, half the price, but still good pickups, still good parts, good wiring, finished in the U.S., set up in the U.S. So you could have like the main line and then the B line. But yeah, I think to me, just that idea of the Trini Lopez meets a Gretsch with a Firebird style construction where it's, the one thing all the way through. I wonder if you could do, instead of carving one from one piece of wood, where you could do the Firebird neck through thing, where that's one solid piece, and then glue the back wings on and then slap a maple top over it to sandwich it all together. That could be a thing.
I'm sure you could. Or you could have a raised middle section like a Firebird and just have like a smaller wing off the side of it.
Man, I really think reverse Firebird 5s are like after having this one for the past almost year now, I think they're some of the most undersung guitars ever. I love it.
They're goofy to play. Like, unless
you get used to it. You get used to it.
Like, I mean, for me, I can't. I physically can't because of my hand. Because I feel like I'm playing the guitar like.
You kind of are.
Yeah, you're. I don't know.
The first time I ever played a Firebird, I was sitting down and I went to strum it, and my hand hit the bridge because everything is shifted, way down here. But when you're standing up, it moves over and it gets right in the thing. I mean, it was designed by a car designer, so it's not,
Yeah, I mean it's an iconic guitar shape, but see that's another place where we differ. If I was gonna have a Firebird, it would be a non-reverse.
Dude, no.
I think they're easier to play.
They're easier to play. I just think they look wrong. Bugavac was playing one on his channel this week, and it sounds amazing because Bugavac was playing it.
Right.
But the non-reverse Firebirds to me look so wrong, and I can't stand it.
See, what I want so bad is to just be, I'm going to sell Mythos to some person who's going to give me an inordinate sum of money, and I just want to be so wealthy that every time someone says, "Oh, I really hate that," I buy the nicest one I can find and just give it to them where they feel so bad.
Like, if you ever did that to me, now I know your motives, and I would just sell it. Like, oh, thanks, man.
Well, if you knew I was just like beyond wealth, like that would be fine, But I just don't know how anyone who was super rich wouldn't do that just like all the time, just to mess with people. Like, oh, I really hate pulled pork, and sends like 100 pounds of pulled pork to their house or something. God. I don't know.
All right, so I think we've got some pretty good options here. If anyone out there who's listening or watching the show is handy with Photoshop and wants to like mock up some renderings, that's not Zach because he has a lot on his plate. Don't do that. You have too much going on. Someone who's not Zach and wanted to mock up these designs that we could post, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Well, and another thing too, if you have what would be your dream guitar company? That would be something fun to see. Type it in the comments what people would want to make, because I think the challenge should be it can't be a straight up Gibson or Fender copy.
Can't do it
because that is so boring and uninspired. I feel like, and I'm not trying to disparage anyone that does that. There's a lot of people that have built great businesses off doing that, and they make amazing guitars. But at the end of the day, from across the room, you'd be like, "What is that? It looks just like that." You want something that you see it and you immediately go, "Oh," so that's the hardest part.
Right. It's hard to do well, man. It's why the people that do it well are, in my opinion, very highly respected. Again, Dennis Fano, I talk about him all the time. We're a big fan of fanboys over here.
Yeah. Fan of fanboys.
it is so hard to design a guitar shape that looks right and will age well. So hard.
Yeah.
I think he's done it.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing about what I've talked about my shape is I've sincerely thought about having a prototype made and well, like in the States, because I have a bunch of luthier friends that could mock up one
Mm-hmm.
and actually doing it, because the cost to entry for overseas production is a lot lower than you'd think. I mean, it's a lot of money that you
Mm-hmm.
would be investing in this, but it's doable, because depending on where you get a guitar made, and I would probably have them made in Korea or somewhere that now is like the new Japan for all intents and purposes. It's the most expensive to get stuff
Right.
made in China. Like, I know people that own import guitar companies that make like really inexpensive guitars, and I think the minimum order is like 10 or 15. Which,
Really?
yeah, and it's just like a couple $100 per guitar, which is crazy.
Look at what Chivalry just posted in the chat. We need to put this in the video because this is exactly what I'm describing.
Okay, how do I save this?
Oh my god. So, yeah, I've never thought about that. We could start Shoyles guitars. Shoyles.
Shoyles. It doesn't make. Oh god, that's a horrible. It's like it reads fine, but when you say it out loud, it sounds so stupid.
I'm just imagining someone on like a rig rundown in the future, like, yeah, this is my Shoyles Model S,
Shoyles.
Shoyles.
That's how people say my name. They say Broyles.
The Yoyles.
Broyles.
The Yoyles.
Shoyles.
Oh god.
Well,
I'm for it, man. I'm here for it. Shoyles guitars.
I'll come up with the shapes and you pony up the cash, and we'll call it even.
What cash? Where am I getting? I'm trying to buy a house.
Cancel that.
We could get a prototype made.
Yeah.
And then sell that.
Yeah. It's on my to-do list of like life in general to start, at least try to have a few guitars made.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Okay.
One day. 10 years, 20 years time, how that.
That's great. Shoyles guitars. Here we go.
It won't be called that.
It started here. We'll have to point to this day when we're at NAMM 2023 at our booth, just kind of standing there. We'll have this episode playing on a TV.
People walking around like, what is up with that booth? One of my favorite things to do at NAMM is look at all the copy, because there's just copy everywhere. There's, signs and advertisements and all sorts of stuff, and find things that are misspelled or really bad grammar. You can find some gems. And also, if you guys, this is just I'm just giving this one away. This is a treat for everybody. If you've never found the threads of people sharing pictures of people asleep at NAMM, it is it's really funny. You can just find people like by the drum section just like passed out. It's like, how?
Dude,
how?
NAMM it's an assault on your senses, man.
I was going to say, I think the drum section is not as bad as the guitar section.
It should be illegal.
I think the guitar section is worse.
The thing about the guitar section is the bass and guitar section are in the same area. So what happens is, like, you get over into that side of the hall and there's this low end rumble that's just happening. It's like 50 hertz, 80 hertz. That's just building up and building up. And I think there is some, like, after 2 days of that, 3 days of that, you are physically exhausted and your brain is shot. Because if you think about it, your brain is having to process all of that auditory information that's coming in, and it literally is an assault.
Oh, yeah, it's like sitting like by the wing of an airplane and just hearing the engine just people don't understand why you get so tired when you go to NAMM. Like when you're working or doing something there, because people come and like if they're there for a couple hours, they're like, "Hey, this is so fun," and they look at you and like, "Why are you so like tired and stuff?"
Why are you dead inside?
I just don't
Dude,
want to be here.
it's fun. But yeah, like this year, Tilly, the first day of NAMM, her voice completely went away. You remember that?
Yeah.
I had to translate for her. So, and it was exhausting because every single conversation, people would come up, be like, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you." And I'd be like, "Oh, she can't. It's just Tilly. She can't talk." I mean, it wasn't like she was hoarse. Her voice was gone.
Yeah.
For like 3 days, couldn't talk. Because you just have to, you scream at people.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone gets sick, because in order to communicate with someone, you get 3 inches from their face and then you scream at them to have conversations.
Luckily, where I was last year with the Novo and Revolta guys was down in the basement, which is probably the most chill area.
Yeah.
But even then, it's just loud. Just that many people talking in a space is loud. So,
Yep.
anyway,
Man.
do you want to move on to our last little segment? We're starting anew this episode.
Well, yeah, we should make a point to start saving up for the Shoyles NAMM booth 20. We should put a Kickstarter out there for the NAMM booth.
2022.
22, yeah, we'll shoot for 22. Shoyles guitars 22. NAMM booth.
Uh,
We'll get the
y-
smallest one we can get.
You would call the NAMM people and be like, "What's it called?" That's not right. No.
Shoyles guitars?
SHO.
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna try out a new segment here to close out the show. And we're gonna call it Gear of the Week. Is somebody in the chat maybe help us out here with a better name than that?
If that's taken on another thing, let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just going to have a Gear of the Week where we showcase a piece of gear that we have that we think is really cool that you guys will enjoy looking at.
It's the shill of the week.
Hey!
The shill of the week. Here we go. So you want to start off, Mr. Broyles?
Sure. I have mine at the ready here.
All right.
So a pedal brand that I really like, who's ran by a very nice guy named Mike Timpson, is Seeker Electric Effects.
Hold on, let me get the video pulled up here. Oh,
Have you seen
nice.
these?
Yeah. No, I
So-
haven't seen those. Those are cool.
Yeah, so Mike is doing everything himself. This is just like his side hustle for fun. And he's making old school circuits very much in the vein of all these people who find vintage parts and make them the vintage way on tag boards, turret strips, things like that. And so this is one of his silicon fuzz face pedals that he was selling on Instagram. Basically what he does is he'll fulfill orders, but every now and again he'll make something and just throw it up. And most of his pedals are really affordable.
Nice.
I have a couple. This one I think was only like $200, and it's a all NOS part, vintage correct style fuzz face. Doesn't have a battery adapter. It's just got a battery inside. It's the old school thing, but Seeker Electric Effects. Everyone should go check out Mike. Give him a follow. And when you see something neat, order it. Most of the pedals he actually paints himself. This is painted. He
Nice.
painted this. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's all a labor of love, and he does a fantastic job.
That's cool, because I was gonna highlight like a really small builder too.
Sure.
Somebody not many people know.
Yeah.
So JHS. So, all right, no, for real though. So this is the Colorbox V2. I've had the V1 for years. I bought the V1 probably 5 years ago. I'm a big fan of like what I would call utility pedals or utility gear, right? Which is one piece of gear that will cover a lot of ground. It's sort of the Alton Brown school of thought, right? Shout out to
Right.
Good Eats, Alton Brown. And if you're not familiar with Alton Brown or Good Eats, you should be. And his idea basically is in the kitchen, you should avoid having gadgets that only do one thing. You should avoid having stuff in your kitchen that only does one thing, right? Like a juicer, for example, or maybe that's not a good example. I don't know. Whatever piece of gadget you can think of that only does one thing and whatever. Something like this is such a killer piece of gear to have because it's so versatile and it'll cover a lot of ground for you. So if you're not familiar with the Colorbox, essentially this is supposed to be like a recording console preamp, almost channel strip without the compression in a box. So it is a preamp pedal. It's got a Lundahl transformer in it. It's got full EQ. It's got a high pass filter. It's got a combo jack in, so you can run XLR line level into it, microphones. You can use it as a DI. If you're at all interested in recording and production, and you are trying to record vocals, you're trying to record bass and any other DI signal, keyboards, synth, guitar, this is a great recording tool to have. Makes a great preamp. For guitar, makes a killer tone shaper. You can put it at different places in your signal chain and use it as an EQ. You can use it as a boost. It makes a killer fuzz pedal. It makes a good sort of like fixer pedal. I use this sometimes on amps that have way too much low end. If you're on a gig, something that has a good high pass filter where you can just cut that low end out so it's not fighting with the bass. Honestly, I think this is the best pedal that JHS makes. I'm a huge fan of it. I think you should check one out. So, and if you're,
I really want one.
even if you're not ready to shell out for the V2, there's plenty of V1s out there for sale. The difference being it only has a 3-band EQ and it's got a few features that the V2 doesn't have.
And does that work on 9 volts now?
I think, yeah, 9-volt DC, center negative.
Yeah,
the previous one was
the old
18.
one. Yeah, it was 18.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that when I was working at Carter and people want to try it. And
Yeah.
I just plug it into 9 volts and be like, yeah, I don't know. It's not working right. I'm like, that's weird. Then I looked at it. I'm like, oh, God, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, man. I bought mine years ago because I wanted to start producing more stuff at home, and I didn't have any like outboard gear, outboard preamps or anything like that. So I bought it to use for that. Works great. It's supposed to be essentially like a Neve 1073 sort of thing. Now, does it compare to like a BAE 1073? No. But it will do the thing. It'll get you that flavor. It'll get you, you can, it gets you
to
that
Flavor Town.
Yeah, it takes you to Flavor Town. Anytime you can put transformers in your signal path, I think that's a good move. So, yeah.
Right.
Colorbox V2.
I have an Optimus Prime and I just plug into that and it's fine.
The Allspark.
That's the dumbest joke I could possibly make.
So there you go. Shill of the week.
Shill of the week.
I like it. Nice.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think between the two of us, we probably have a lot of random stuff, not just pedals that people would be interested to see. Because I have a lot of like tools that I don't think guitar players have enough tools. We have a bunch of like this kind of tool, but like actual like this kind of tool.
Dude, this that you got me last year,
that's the tool, man.
This is the tool, man. This is the one to have. What is this called?
It's called a spanner.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna do this every week.
I bought a torque
if we
wrench
remember.
this week. You hear me?
You bought a torque wrench?
Yeah. First
For
time I've ever
what?
had a torque wrench. For my bicycles.
Oh.
Yeah.
I bought so much stuff for my Proton Pack. So many tools.
I love that sentence so much, man. That's awesome.
So yeah.
Oh, I bought your Christmas present, by the way. It just shipped. I got the notification.
Well, I'm glad you reminded me. So that means I have to get you something now.
Oh, no, you don't have to. I thought of it, and then I went online and found it, and yeah, it's going to be.
I feel really guilty when I don't get somebody things. So.
Oh, well,
it's
what we
happening.
should do, so maybe not next week, maybe for our holiday episode, we'll do the gift exchange. I'll ship you yours. You ship me mine. We'll open them on the pod.
Right. Mine's going to be so inappropriate.
Don't get something comically large that I can't fit in the frame or something.
Hey.
Also, I don't have space for any shit, so please don't get me anything big.
It's just an air mattress. As soon as you open the box, it just explodes out.
It's a life raft for a cruise ship. Congrats! I knew you always wanted that.
Perfect.
Well, everyone, thanks for hanging out. This has been Dipped in Tone episode, whatever. 13. If you want to support the show, you can follow us on Patreon. I feel like we should throw a couple more levels in there than just the one.
Maybe. Yeah, I feel like I have to finally get some merch going. I have all the best intentions. I promise I do. I just I don't have any time.
Dude, we're both very busy. It's okay. Yeah. I think people understand. But we should have merch available.
We'll have another tier where you get our phone number and you can just call us and ask us any questions.
Well, maybe your phone number. So you can do that. Also, be sure to subscribe and all that kind of stuff. The channel's growing, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
And also let us know. We've kicked around the idea of doing other types of videos on the channel than just the show.
Yeah.
So I think that's a thing.
This honest, just kind of guerrilla, not ape guerrilla, but guerrilla filmmaking of
I think they got that. I don't think you needed to clarify.
Well, you never know. Works well, and I feel like we could do just pedal things or showcasing things in a very simple format that would not be as long, and I think people might dig it. But let us know what you want to see. What do you want the Dipped in Tone boys to do?
What do you want them dipped in tone boys?
Them dip boys.
Them dip boys. They're at it again. Just the good old boys. Never meaning no harm. I can't tell if you're in time or not because of the latency.
I'm not.
All right, man. Speaking of, have you ever heard Convoy, the Convoy theme song?
Yeah, I think I have.
Oh man, it's a jolliment.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. On that note, I'm getting out of here. I'm
all right.
Closing off my recording. Goodbye.
Bye.